Hey everybody, so my name is Kat and I am participating in Inktober this year. I actually had some problems with filming, just because I was doing a bunch of test runs and stuff like that. So I never managed to film myself actually finishing this. I had pretty much done the back for with an ink wash and his hair a little bit, and I did that ahead of time, I'm not gonna lie, just because I got kind of super excited. This is my first Inktober. I'm not following the official prompt. I'm going with more of like a Fantober type of theme. And for my first piece, it's actually featuring Karama, or Yoko in this case, which is why there's a bunch of silver everywhere, and it's super shiny. I absolutely fell in love with it. But I'm going to talk a little bit about this piece, and then I'm kind of share a bit of what I'm working with here. But this is Kurama in his Yoko form. The character is from Yu Yu Hakusho. It's a classic and is my absolute favorite series of all time. And the title of the song that I went with, because my Inktober theme is basically Fantober type of deal, so it's going to be like fan art, but I'm also using songs and song lyrics as like a driving force behind a piece or an idea for the piece, and then I'm pulling words from like 12 different prompt lists, ranging from Goretober to Drawtober, Drawloween, all that stuff. So I kind of pulled a couple of different words. This was a more simple piece for me to go with because there were things like greenery or green and vines, plants and stuff like that were on some of the lists, so I just kind of used that and ran with it. And there are spots that I'm not quite done with. I had to wait for the ink to dry so that I could actually go over it with my fine liners again. And the song again was Greener with the Scenery by The Used, and it was the driving force behind this piece. And it honestly turned out pretty nice for my first piece. So that's that piece. If you've not seen Yu Yu Hakusho before, I definitely do say check it out. It's well worth the watch. There's comedy, drama, feelings, action, all that stuff. But I'm gonna try to clean this up a bit real quick, and then I will be right back. Okay, so that wasn't really a whole lot of cleaning up. I just didn't want to risk spilling this. I originally was using this for my watercolors and stuff, but I'm probably going to have to get another one by the time I'm done with Inktober, just because I've been using inks in this a lot, and they stain. So there's that. For this piece, what I used, I'll share that first. It'll give a good idea of what I'm working with here. For the fine lining, I'm using Faber-Castell Pitt pens, just because this was the first piece that I sketched out. I actually lined it the same day I sketched it, and it stayed as a sketch for like 2 weeks. But I lined it with this. I hadn't bought dip pens yet. I wasn't fully committed to Inktober just yet, but I lined with these. I only really used the small and extra small, and maybe I'll use the fine tip. Again, that's what I had at the time. I'm not using my Copic multi-liners because I reserve those for when I'm doing Copics. So that was what it was lined with. My pencil, it's really nothing fancy. I use this. I'm probably going to have to replace this eraser because it's getting kind of cruddy ever since I took the casing off of it. But this is just a simple Papermate pencil. I actually had the same one for over 10 years, and then I lost all my art supplies. So I was like, I'm probably not going to find that pencil again. Nope, they still make it after all these years. For the inks, the washes were done with the Kuretake Sumi ink, which came in the October sketch box. So I was super stoked because I was actually going to be buying a water-based pigment ink if I didn't get something like this in that box, but I was holding out hope. For line art, for everything else that I'll be doing, just as an aside, because this is water-based pigment, you can reactivate it. And, well, I don't think you fully reactivate it, but you can kind of reactivate it. So this is going to be used for line art when I'm using my dip pens. But for this piece itself, The gold and silver were done with the Dr. P.H. Martin's Iridescent line. I have copper plate gold, which I used on his eyes, and everything else was this silver, and I got silver all over me. So that's pretty much all that was used for this piece. So moving on, I know I'm not going to be able to do everything at my desk, so having that in mind, if I want to do any grayscale type stuff, kind of like what I did here, I have grayscale Faber-Castell Pitt pens as well. So those are for grayscaling. If I want a pop of color at all, I have these Sakura Pigma brushes, and these are actually kind of firm nibs. I used these when I was like 12 or 13. I don't know how I ended up getting these, but these aren't the ones from when I was 12 or 13. Jeez, those are dead. I use those to death. But I'm probably not going to do too much with color. So those are my liners. I do also have this white Pitt pen. Since I'm using tan paper, it's not going to be that effective. I also, for bold, really, really bold lines, I've got this fat black Pitt pen as well. And I have doubles of these because I've been using these for years. I have pens that haven't actually died that I thought were dead. There's also this dark indigo brush pen that came in the September sketch box. I didn't use it for the September piece. In fact, I rage quit on the September piece because I really didn't like those water brushes that came in that. I think I just had duds, but Higgins Black Magic ink. This is also a bold tip. It's actually a pretty decent sized point. It's consistent, and I probably can control it better than the brush pens. And then, since the extra small in this is actually not as small as this one, I'm probably going to use this. This came in the Inktober sketch box, by the way. And this guy came in the Inktober sketch box as well. It's a super, super tiny, tiny point. And this is a Montana Markers brand, which I'd never heard of until it was in that box. So those are all the pens I'll be using. I have these brush pens from Sakura if I really want to do anything with color, but I'm probably not going to want to because black and white is enough work. So I've got a size 8 Princeton Select Artist brush. This is actually super handy, and I used it for the wash, for doing the leaves and everything. I have a size 0 of the same brand, and I actually didn't think I'd use it that much, but I actually use this for the silver and gold and for doing some of the shading on the leaves and stuff. This guy I'm probably not going to use. He's a size 10. It's like a 1/4 inch. It's flat. I don't like flat brushes, so I'm not sure why I bought it other than because I could. Artist problems. And here are the dip pens. I do have 4 other nibs because this is part of the Speedball starter set. So it came with this little guy and then this chunky guy, and the big nibs go in this one, the little ones go in this one, but I think I've decided on the nib that I'll use. This one works the best for me so far. I do have other brushes and stuff on standby if I need them. This is what I'll be doing my line work with whenever I use the dip pens for lines, because I kind of want to try that out. I've done it once or twice now, and it's oddly satisfying, like including the sound. And I also have, I'll just put everything in here because it's all going to go away there. There's also this pen cleaner for the nibs. I also use it for kind of keeping the brushes as clean as I can without washing them. And I'm probably going to need another one of those bottles sooner rather than later. And then I also have the 12 set. I forget if this is 1 or 2, because there are 2 sets and 24 colors total, and I have 12. The colors are actually really beautiful. I swatched them at the back of this book, along with my Pigmas, just to see what they look like on this paper, and I'm not sure I'm going to use them because the orange looks really chalky. But these are the colors for that 12 set. That's the black, but I watered it down. The black is really, really black, and it took a lot for me to water it down like that. But I'm probably not going to do much with colors, so I kind of really overspent, especially since Michaels charged $65 for this set, and on Amazon it turns out it's $35. So don't go crazy with your shopping for your supplies for Inktober. But this is, again, in closing, because I'm probably going to vlog my Inktober a little bit here and there, just to kind of keep myself motivated a bit. But this is my Inktober Day 1 piece. And I'm all for sketching ahead of time. If you have an idea for an Inktober piece that comes to mind, do it. Just sketch it out, because you don't know if you're going to burn out. So even if you don't want to finish it right then and there, like, you can always go back to it when you're having a burnout day or you're lacking ideas. So, yeah, I'm going to vlog it, and let's have a conversation, guys. And that's going to be that for now. I might try to do time-lapse videos if I actually have the time or give myself the time. But I get really nervous about messing up on camera because I almost had some drama with this. But yeah, this is my Inktober. These are my supplies that I'm working with. And this book, I don't know if I talked about it. It's 5.5 by 8.5. It's really not that big. It's 50 pages, 80-pound pressure paper. And it actually works pretty nicely for the dip pens. It doesn't buckle too much either. Like, it's gonna buckle, but it's not that bad. But I'll probably be, again, I'm probably gonna be ripping pages out, especially if I'm using the dip pen, because the spiral is not lefty friendly at all. But yeah, let's talk Inktober. Let's share each other's videos, and let's have some fun with it. And my Instagram is also, look at my cartoon bunny. My Instagram is going to be linked in the description box below, so is my DeviantArt, my Tumblr, but honestly I use the Instagram the most and the DeviantArt. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and happy inking!